75 years ago, at exactly 6 in the morning of July 15, 1939, announcer Hal Bowie took his seat before a microphone in a little studio at the top of the Hickok building in Escolta and bid his unseen audience good morning. Thus was born one of the pioneer commercial radio stations to operate in Manila. In just a few years, the entire Philippine archipelago caught in the maelstrom of the Second World War. The fledgling station, which took the call sign KZRH, would buck the challenge of history and remain as the only surviving radio station in the country. Its auspicious beginnings as the mouthpiece of one of the largest department stores in the Pacific must have laid the groundwork for the station's commercial viability all these years, a major factor in the survival of the so-called stepchild of media arts. KZRH management had fundamental marketing knowledge down pat. They knew what radio listeners liked and disliked. This is the legacy that has been borne by Manila Broadcasting Company this past 7 decades, way beyond the golden age of radio, spurred on by the eventual development of DZRH after the Elizaldes took over the reins in 1946. The same marketing savvy has been evident in the way MBC rolled out its FM radio operations. First through DZMB, which today claims undisputed leadership on the band as 90.7 Love Radio, and later with the advent of more stations under the same network umbrella. It is the primordial tenet held steadfastly by an operations team that now boasts of the only truly nationwide coverage by a network, 24/7. MBC indeed is not just the pioneer broadcast institution in the country, but the acknowledged trendsetter, altering the way radio has been delivered both on the AM and FM bands, somehow blurring the differences while effectively reaching mass audiences all over the archipelago.
From being a news and entertainment station after the war, DZRH earned the trust and confidence of Filipinos here and abroad, with its commitment to deliver the latest information on public affairs, entertainment, agriculture, technology, education, health, and even sports, while providing inspirational dramas and an award-winning arts and culture program. It is also a major partner for the government in disaster relief operations.
For the past 12 years, Love Radio has been the highest rating station in Mega Manila and various key cities. Their taglines have become street jargon, allowing the station to form a personal bond with listeners and a sense of loyalty that has been hard to break. Sister station Yes FM continues to provide listeners with a happy vibe and its hot adult contemporary programming, despite an initial reformatting from the erstwhile DWST.
Good morning, this is 96.3.
Easy Rock in turn presents a balanced mix of the best soft rock music, alternative modern rock, and the cream of the adult contemporary music from the 70s and 80s, with provisions to accommodate today's powerful ballads and lush vocal melodies. It caters largely to professionals and young executives. Radyo Natin by far is the most extensive and largest FM network in the Philippines and the whole of Asia, with 100 FM stations strategically located in the most remote parts of the islands. Each station is run by local residents through an entrepreneurial scheme called Hating Kapatid, which allows them to address issues and needs of their respective localities. Because of this, MBC easily set about localizing its broadcasts, the key to getting audiences by involving local communities, laying claim to the tribal ingredient that helps radio survive, broadcasting in the various dialects instead of the traditional baritone twang of yore, help jocks associate more closely with their listeners. Surveys have consistently shown that 50% of all radio listeners in Mega and Metro Manila are collectively tuned in to MBC stations. But in the provinces, figures go up to 80%, bolstering the claim to MBC's total dominance, particularly through Love Radio, which for the past 12 years has been consistently number one. We created a third primetime slot on radio, so competition has become even more intense. Recently, Love Radio and the SFM have shown a grittier synergy with the joint programs aired on both stations. The popularity of both the stations and the DJs has also allowed MBC stations to embrace new platforms, particularly on social media and mobile phone radios, thereby reaching millions of fans. On AM, DZRH icons like Joe Taruk and Deo Macalma continue to be effective purveyors of subliminal messaging by advertisers. On FM, the nationwide syndication of Tambalang Balasubas and Balahura as well as Papa Jack's True Love Conversations has contributed to the phenomenal ratings, yet unmatched by other radio stations. Fans are also able to cross-reference on television with Jock's presence on MBC's own cable station, RHTV.
Given all these, MBC stations comprise a potent force to get one's advertising message across. Fully cognizant of their target listeners and mastering their programming thrust, they have convinced advertisers to support their efforts at activation and integration in reaching mass audiences. The network no longer just sells spots alone, but serves as a complete marketing partner.
MBC stations DZRH, Love Radio, ESFM, Easy Rock, Aksyon Radio, Radyo Natin, and RHTV all tap into the consciousness of the Pinoy, taking inherent social-cultural phenomena like fiestas, raffles, and machismo sports, and actively make them tick. At the same time, through creative thinking by the staff and high-quality execution by their announcers, MBC has translated traditional broadcasting techniques like talk radio and soap operas into productive and impacting forms of integration or product placement that have become increasingly more efficient in moving brands across a complex media landscape. But it is the way MBC announcers today relate to their listeners that truly spells the difference. It is a legacy handed down through the generations of broadcasters who knew their audiences. It is foresight brought about by the changing of the times. It is a style acquired through personal interaction with the man on the street. And it is a mantle of leadership, new experiences, and empathy towards mankind, brought about being the only truly nationwide network. Manila Broadcasting Company, covering the Philippines like no other.